The air outside Mama K's fresh wash always carried a pleasant fragrance, something like roses mixed with sandalwood. People said you could smell it from 2 streets away, and for some reason, clothes washed there never lost that scent. Mama K, a plump, cheerful woman in her late 50s, always smiled at customers. Bring am come, I go wash am thing clean for you. When you wear am, dem go ask you where you wash am, she would say, laughing heartily. Her shop had recently become the most popular laundry in town. Even rich people, who once looked down on the small rusty shop, now sent their drivers to drop off bags of clothes. One Saturday morning, Ifeanyi, a young banker, stood outside the shop sniffing his freshly pressed shirt. Mama K, this your scent na die o. My boss even asked me which perfume I dey use, he said, grinning. Mama K chuckled, her eyes squinting behind her glasses. Na special soap I dey use. If I tell you where I buy am, you go rush go collect am for yourself. Nobody questioned her further. They didn't care. All they knew was that wearing Mama K's washed clothes made people notice them. Women started saying it attracted attention from men. Men swore it made them feel confident. Business was booming, but not everyone was comfortable with it. Across the street, Chuka, a young Okada rider who often hung around the shop, watched her pour water from a black tank into her washing drums. Something about that water bothered him. It always looked too dark, almost reddish whenever the morning sun hit it. One evening, after Mama K closed the shop, Chuka walked past and noticed something strange. A rusty gate at the back, slightly open, leading to what looked like an abandoned compound. Curious, he peeped in and saw a crumbling signboard that read, Centrafel Mortuary, closed. The laundry shop shared a fence with an old mortuary. Chuka's skin prickled. Wait, no be this mortuary dem talk say dem abandon because of smell of dead body water wey dey leak into the ground, he muttered to himself. That night, lying on his bed, the thought wouldn't leave his mind. What kind of soap made clothes smell so sweet? And why did Mama K always fetch water from that big black tank? The same tank that stood right next to the broken mortuary wall. The next morning, Chuka sat on his bike across the road, pretending to wait for passengers, but his eyes stayed fixed on Mama K's laundry. He watched as she opened the shop, humming to herself as usual. Customers began trooping in, handing her bundles of clothes with smiles on their faces. A young woman, Amaka, sniffed her freshly washed dress right there in the shop, her eyes lighting up. Chai, Mama K, this smell fits wake dead body sef, she joked. Mama K laughed, but for a split second, Chuka caught a flicker in her eyes. A tightness, like someone who didn't find the joke funny. By noon, when customers were gone, Mama K locked the front door and disappeared through the back. Chuka's heart pounded. This was his chance. He parked his bike at a corner and crept toward the back gate he had seen half open the night before. The air was heavy, and the faint smell of that sweet fragrance floated around him, mixed with something darker, something he couldn't place. The gate creaked as he pushed it slightly open. The abandoned St. Raphael mortuary stood like a ghost from the past. Cracked walls, faded paint, and a sagging roof. But what caught his attention was Mama K herself, standing beside a huge black underground tank that sat just by the broken mortuary wall. Chuka crouched behind a pile of bricks, watching closely. Mama K rolled up her sleeves, picked up a metal bucket, and bent near a large drainage hole at the back of the mortuary. The hole was covered with a broken metal grate, and as she lifted it, a foul earthy smell rose into the air. Chuka gagged silently, then he froze. Mama K dipped the bucket directly into the dark murky water pooled under the mortuary, scooping it carefully before pouring it into the big black tank. The liquid glistened under the sunlight, thick, dark, and reddish brown. Chuka's stomach churned. Blood, body fluids, he whispered, barely breathing. Mama K, unfazed, went back and forth, humming happily as she filled her tank. When she was done, she locked the drainage grate again, wiped her hands on her wrapper, and returned to the shop. With the same cheerful smile she gave customers every day, Chuka's heart pounded in his chest. So, that was her secret. The special soap story was a lie. She had been washing people's clothes with water mixed with dead body fluids from the mortuary, and the strange scent everyone loved was coming from decomposing bodies that had long soaked into the underground water. Suddenly, a soft whisper made his skin crawl. "Who's there?" Chuka turned sharply. A shadow moved near the mortuary wall. He crouched lower, but the whisper came again, this time closer. It wasn't Mama K. It sounded wrong, like someone talking with water in their throat. Then, just as he was about to run, a cold hand gripped his ankle from under the broken grate. Chuka screamed and yanked his leg free, stumbling backward. But when he looked again, there was nothing, just the dark still water under the grate. Terrified, he ran out of the gate, jumped on his bike, and sped off, his heart racing. That evening, he sat in his small room, staring at the shirt he had washed at Mama K's 2 days ago. He sniffed it, and for the first time, the one sweet smell made him feel sick. He threw it across the room. He wanted to warn people, but who would believe him? Everyone loved Mama K, but that night, as he lay in bed, Chuka woke to a strange sound, the soft swish of wet fabric being wrung out, coming from his bathroom, and then a whisper, "We want our clothes back." A young man, Ifani, who always bragged about Mama K's clean shirts, came to the shop pale and shaking. "Mama K, you sure say na my shirt you wash? Because last night, person wey look like old woman wear am for road near my house." Mama K frowned. "Old woman, my eye dey deceive you." But Ifeanyi swore he wasn't lying. "I know my shirt. E get one small tear for the collar. I see am clearly under street light." She waka slow, and when I call am, she turn back and laugh. But Mama K, the laugh no be human laugh. E sound like water dey her throat. Mama K laughed nervously, waving him off, but her hands trembled slightly as she collected another bag of clothes. By the next day, more people started complaining. A woman named Amaka whispered to Chuka outside the shop, her eyes wide. "Chuka, I see person wey wear my wrapper for market yesterday night. The wrapper still dey Mama K's shop. I never even collect am. But the person no walk normal. E dey drag leg, like say one leg stiff. And when I look well, e no get face, only empty blackness under scarf." Chuka clenched his fists. I talk say na dead body water she dey use wash her clothes. But many still refused to believe. Some only laughed it off, saying na imagination, maybe na thief wear am. Still, the rumor spread. That night, people began hearing soft knocks on their windows. Some said they heard voices calling their names. "Where is my wrapper? Where is my shirt?" A man claimed he saw his own trousers walking by themselves down the street, worn by something that disappeared as soon as he shouted. And every time this happened, the next morning, Mama K's shop was still full of people, because no matter how scared they felt, they still loved the smell. Then, 2 customers went missing. Ifeanyi's neighbor said he saw him at midnight chasing someone who wore his shirt down the street, shouting, "Bring am here na my clothes you dey wear." He never returned. His room was empty the next morning, but the shirt he chased after was neatly folded on his bed, wet with dirty water. Another woman, Amaka, was last seen standing at her window at night, whispering to someone below. By morning, her door was open and her clothes were gone too. Yet Mama K opened her shop as usual the next morning, smiling as if nothing was wrong. But when she looked across the road, she saw Chuka standing there, arms folded, his face dark with anger. "How long you think you fit hide this secret?" he shouted. Mama K's smile faded, and for the first time, fear flickered in her eyes. The air around them felt heavy, like something was watching. The dead were no longer borrowing their clothes quietly, they were coming to take them back completely. The town smelled even sweeter that night, almost too sweet, like a heavy perfume choking the air, but no one was outside. Doors were locked, windows shut, people whispered prayers, except for Mama K's shop, which was still open, light glowing from inside. Chuka stood outside, sweating, his fist clenched. "You think say go continue like this? You don't wake them," he shouted. Mama K didn't answer. She just stood by her washing drum, staring at him, her face pale for the first time. Then the wind changed. A low humming sound filled the air. Slowly, figures began appearing at the end of the street. Wet, broken figures. An old man with half his jaw missing, a young woman in a torn burial cloth, a child with cloudy white eyes, all of them dragging their feet, dripping dirty water as they walked. And they were all wearing the same sweet-smelling clothes Mama K washed. Chuka stepped back, heart pounding. "Jesus, Mama K, see wetin you cause." Mama K's lips trembled. She whispered, "I only wanted business to grow. I didn't know they would come for it." The dead didn't speak. They just walked, slowly surrounding the shop, their voices whispering together like a cold wind. "Give us back our clothes. Give us back our clothes." Suddenly, the glass window shattered. One by one, they entered the shop. Mama K screamed, backing into the corner. "Abeg, no be my fault. I just dey use the water. I no kill una." But they didn't care. The old woman in the torn wrapper stepped forward, her black empty eyes fixed on Mama K. Slowly, she removed the wrapper from her wet body and threw it at Mama K's feet. Then, in a voice that echoed with anger, she spoke. "Wash it for me again, with your own blood." Mama K scream tore through the night as the spirits rushed at her. By dawn, the street was silent. The shop door swung open, slowly in the wind. Inside, no one was there. Only wet clothes hung everywhere, dripping, and the smell of that sweet scent was stronger than ever. Mama K was gone. But as Chuka stood across the road, he saw something move inside the shop. The clothes hanging on the lines were shifting slowly, as if someone invisible was wearing them. Then, one by one, they turned toward him, and a whisper filled the air. "We are not done washing."